Casara Andre joins me today from Colorado. So good morning, Casara. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Hi, Michael. Thank you so much. I'm excited to chat with y'all today.
Yeah, but Casara, why don't you tell us how you got into the veterinary profession, and then tell us just about what you're doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a 2009 graduate from Virginia, Maryland. In vet school, I commissioned with the military. So while I was in school, I was an officer, and then as soon as I graduated, I went through boot camp and had my first duty site and absolutely fell in love with working dog medicine. Anyone who's been working with working dogs just knows that's a very specific type of medicine, very specific type of animals and handlers, and a really cool field to work in. So I did that for 4 years out of school, and really I would say that's what's directed everything that I'm doing now. It was introduction to sports medicine in veterinary medicine, and I really found myself needing more tools than I had with my sort of very Western trained background. You know, you have a working dog who's a super athlete, really, really healthy, and unless they break a leg or cut themselves in the training field, what they need is stretching, conditioning, dealing with little minor aches and pains until they retire. So it's a lot different than the pets we might see in a clinic that come in with a condition that we have to work up if we don't know what's going on. So after I got out of the active side of the military and came into the reserve side, I really started to pursue acupuncture, rehab, massage, and that really formed a lot of the stuff that I do now in my own personal practice. We run a co-working community for veterinary professionals. So we are the office administrators for a lot of the small businesses in the area. Mobile acupuncture, mobile rehab. We have a lot of interest in hospice care from both the vets, but also techs who want to do hospice pet sitting. So some really cool small business ideas, but that also means that the population of animals that we deal with and all of our members deal with tends to be senior, tends to be hospice, and also tends to be pet parents who really are interested in alternative medicine or aren't getting the results they want from really heavy pharmaceuticals or seeing a lot of the side effects.
Are you an Army brat, or why did you do the Army route?
I'm not an Army brat. My grandfather was military. He's a veteran, but really other than that, I don't have military in my family. I was always interested and really wanted to be able to serve, but school was always my forte. It was what I loved doing, was really good at, so I did not enlist kind of at that break point when you're kind of deciding what you're going to do, which direction. So I went direction of school, veterinary school, all of that. But then during veterinary school, my academic affairs advisor was a retired Army colonel, and we spent a lot of time just talking about his experiences, and he felt it would be a really great avenue for me to try out, and I was very interested. What a great opportunity to do what I loved, veterinary medicine, but also serve at the same time. So, and it was 2009, the economy was in a pretty bad state, and I knew that general practice wasn't really what I wanted to do. So it was just a really great fit and served a lot of things that were important to me at the same time.
Well, and I have to say this on behalf of all listeners, so thank you very much for serving. It's something.
Thank you. It was my privilege, absolutely, through every piece of it. I'm very privileged to be able to have done that.
It sounds like you're a hub that just kind of supervises home hospice, home visits, whether they involve just regular medical care or not, and the technicians
right.
as well. So what
yes,
bred this idea?
I'll shift that just a little bit to say our business is supporting the practitioners.
Okay.
So when in Colorado especially, there's just so much interest in home-based, mobile-based, house call medicine. But once you, as a veterinarian or a tech or whoever it is, steps out into that small business world, there's a lot more than just practicing your medicine or whatever you're doing. And you don't have the infrastructure that, say, a vet has in a hospital as a staff veterinarian. So we are working to be that hospital manager. We take care of ordering, so inventory management, patient records, can do follow-up calls, reminder calls. We have a tech that we sort of share between all of us. So it is a true co-working space, but very specific for the veterinary world. And hopefully provides assist to all the people who want to start their own small business in the veterinary field, but maybe need some support or some cheering, a cheering squad behind them while they go.
No, that's a very unique business model. I think that's awesome. And so it in the Colorado area, is it just a client preference or demand, or is there a physical reason? Is there a lot of open space and driving that then allows for this sort of mobile model? I mean, don't get me wrong. So I'm in Jersey, where there's huge population density, and there's a huge increase in the mobile veterinarians themselves. But they're all independents on their own. There's no support system. I think that's what is unique about your business model.
Yeah,
that's great.
I think it's a need that's everywhere, and we would love to take the model and do satellite clinics because, again, all of our vets, all of our people stay very independent. It's their businesses. We are just supporting them, giving them a framework to function in. I do think Colorado is unique. We just love our pets here. Everyone loves their pets. Dogs are everywhere. Cats are part of the family. So I think that shift of the pet parents to really wanting home-based care is really big here, and the veterinary community has just moved to fill it.
No, that's awesome. And when did you start doing this?
Let's see, June 2016 was our open date, so we're pretty new in the co-working community as well.
No, like I said, that's a unique business model. And it was something I was dying to ask, so you're dedicated to well-being of the veterinary community. I'm going, is this wellness or is this something? So I thought that was
what does that exactly mean?
No, that's great.
And we intentionally make it a little bit vague because we believe that by caring for the well-being of the practitioner, which we see our role as, those practitioners are better able to care for the well-being of their patients. So as a whole, we feel like the veterinary community, the veterinary industry has a better well-being because of the pieces.
Your support system, and then let me use a mobile vet just because I'm most familiar with that. And so does that mobile vet still have a relationship or a home base for, surgeries and everything like that? So say they're not equipped for x-rays and MRIs or whatever. Is there a home-based relationship too? Or are you part of that? Are you part of that network as well?
We are part of that network. So there's no restriction on what the vet can do. If they love a clinic they're working with, that's fantastic. But a lot of times it can feel kind of awkward to walk into a clinic that's busy and running and they have their own schedule just to look at a slide. You just need to use their microscope for a second. But a lot of times it just feels like an intrusion. Yeah. So we have a microscope available, dye available. The vets don't have to carry it in their car. We manage accounts to all the big laboratories in the area. So if you want to, IDEX and Antec are really big here. So you want to send one to both, but don't want to manage accounts for them, we'll send it out for you. We don't yet have a surgery suite, but would love to have that soon, but still on that as-needed basis. We've contracted with clinics in the area for their radiograph suite, so instead of the vet having to negotiate and how much is it worth and who pays and when do I pay and all of that, they just let us know that they need that clinic space and we'll arrange the time, send a tech to meet the vet there to help restrain or talk to the animal. So really, we're just trying to take the mess out of the business piece and let the vet do what they do.
It's brilliant.
It's so much fun. For us, it's absolutely a blast. I mean, we hear about so many cool ideas and feel like we're able to help them blossom because we can lower that threshold of getting started just a little bit. Recently, we just brought on a bookkeeper that just gets shared among everybody, so those costs are really low. And that's been huge for all of our people. Bookkeeping is just a headache a lot of times, and it's really scary to know where to start from. So I think having a person who deals with lots of these businesses of the same model, who knows what you need, knows how to talk to you. We chose her very particularly for the personality that fit with our community. So yeah, we're just trying to identify things that stop people from fulfilling their dream and following their passion and trying to take that out of the way.
No, that's awesome. My bookkeeper, before she moved to Pensy, she's still around. She's almost 90. Sharp. Wow. She ran the show, man. She was my boss. And I used to tell her, I said, Muriel, you are the most valuable team member I have.